Hi YouTube, it's Mike back here at Half Hippie Acres. I'm working on the outhouse and I'm just waiting for Jason to arrive with the backhoe so that we can move this thing into position and finish it off. So while I'm waiting, I'm just shaving down my last course of logs here, the front and the back, where the roof joists are going to sit, just to give them something a little more purchase, a little bit more flat area to sit on. And then we'll have something more secure to nail them down into. I've got this draw knife that I'm using, and buck all the knots off with my axe first, just to make that a little bit easier. And then this great little draw knife that my girlfriend's uncle Wally gave me, and to spend a little time on it today on the tailgate, putting a new edge back on it. It's cutting great. So just going to continue filing these off. I'm taking really good care to make sure I don't hit any nail heads, because there's a nail in each corner of these, plus some here beside the door. Anytime you're using an edge tool, make sure you're aware of where all your nail heads are.
My dinner's on fire while she watches TV, and if you ever wondered what it's like to be me, she takes all my money and leaves me no smokes, yells at my buddies and insults my folks. I'm breaking my back doing the best that I can. She's got some time for the dog and none for her man, and I'm no dope, but I can't cope.
So this should be a pretty big day for us out here. I've got the main structure all done. I'm going to leave some of these logs in the middle of the door just to kind of keep it together, especially because it's split right below this log is where the halfway mark is. So that's going to keep the bottom of the top section together when we move it. And I'm going to wait until we get it in place to cut out the windows. I've got them marked off. I've nailed down the sides of the windows so that when we do cut them out, they'll stay together while I frame them in with something, maybe some birch or something that we've milled up. Same with the doorway. I'm going to cut this out once it's in place, and also the sides, just in case when I put the top section on, if it's a 1/4 inch out and all the logs are just a little off, it'll bug me for the rest of my life. So I'll wait until they get in place, then I'm going to snap a chalk line and cut them off. I've got the tops of the front and back log planed down kind of flat enough anyways that the roof rafters can sit on there. We'll have something to nail into, and other than that, she's ready to go.
I recall a time when we were lovers. Before you I hadn't any other. But when the bad times came along, I turned and you had gone from the start. I loved you, I was wrong. Falling now, it's the end.
bolts off. I'm filling in the inside. I'll give you a quick look at how I'm framing this. So here's a look at the inside of how things are coming together. Jesse came down to help me out, and we covered up the inside with a bunch of offcuts of some millings just to fill in all the gaps in the logs there. The flooring that I'm using, here's one piece, there's another. It's just 1 inch milled up stuff that we had left over, and so it was a little flexy in the middle, and no one wants to walk into an outhouse stepping over mostly air on a flexy floor. So I've got this big piece of rough cut 2x6 that I've toe nailed and screwed in to the bottom big log there. It's going under the floor, and then back here it is attached to another piece of rough cut 2x6 screwed and nailed into the bottom, and then all of these boards coming up the face here are screwed and nailed into it 2 times each. So effectively all the weight in the center of the floor is being carried laterally by all of these boards in the front, and it made a huge difference. Super stiff now, no worries. So I'll put the other floorboard in, and then we're just working on the bench. It's really coming together. So I'm canning the 2x4 prefab rafter idea. It's just, it's not really going to match the look. It's not going to look natural, you know, like the rest of the build here. And I think we can find a better use for those rafters packs somewhere else. Plus, yesterday, Jesse and I went and had a look at a building that was constructed completely of round log. And until seeing it in person, I couldn't really wrap my head around how to do it really properly and keep it straight. So now we're looking good. So this is what I come up with to figure out how to build these rafters and keep them consistent. Took a bunch of these scrap cutoffs that we had from milling up the lumber, and I laid them out so we have sort of a flat area, and I put it up on top of the roof here so it's kind of waist height, easy to work on. And then I figured out I want the bottom, the stringer that's going to run across the top of the roof itself. Yeah, the rafter here is going to be about 7 feet. So I marked out 7 feet on either end of that guy. And then I figured out kind of a height from the middle, about how high I wanted it, just to get a decent slope here so that snow will run off and we won't have to maintain too much strength in the roof that way. So I figured out about 54 inches will work fine. So I pulled tape from here up, and I drew a radius here at 54 inches, and then I did the same from that end up here and put a radius in here, and then this was my point of intersection between those two, so that'll be the peak, and then this line is just kind of the angle that I'll have to cut on both of these to make that match up. So then I should be able to just lay a log on top of there, just eyeball my angle there, cut it off, and then from the angle here, cut that off, do the same on this side, and then that should give me my 3 pieces. I'm probably going to shave a little flat on either end of that guy just to make those seat a little bit nicer, but that's how I'm going to see if I can build some rafters. So Jason left his little saw down here, which is lucky because it's a lot easier to wield than that guy. So I'm using that to do these little trimmings, and then I put my pieces on this other piece of scrap just so I don't go through like this and land on these rocks and dull up the chain. So there it is, my first rafter, and I'm happy with it. I took a tracing of my toilet seat from my house and I made a cutout for it. Well, that worked out pretty well. got her landed in place, squared up, leveled up. It's perfect. Go. Perfect.
Perfection.
Good shot. Jesse swings a big hammer.
Skinny guys like big hammers.
Doesn't always hit his mark. But when he does, custom truss pack. Ready to go.
Buenos tardes, amigo. Hola, my good friend. Cinco de Mayo's on Tuesday, and I hoped we'd see each other again. You killed my brother last winter. You shot him 3 times in the back. In the night, I still hear Mama weeping. Oh, Mama still dresses in black. I looked at every fiesta.
Jesse's putting the final touches on a little improvement to the front
For
stoop.
you
Put some flat boards on there, just
to greet.
trim them off. And that's done.
Maybe
Got the
I'd
seats all
sell you
smoothed out.
chicken with poison
Windows are in.
interlaced with the
Roof is on.
You look like my brother. Mama loved him the best.
And we just need to cover the hole up back here. It's looking like a completed outhouse.